Hey everybody, Josh Sigurdson, a World of Alternative Media here, and make sure to hit that like button, check those links below. I'm here in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, and if this cuts out at any point, it's because the internet is absolutely terrible, but we're going to do our best today. So if I go away for a few moments, you'll know why, and make sure to find a way to tune back in if YouTube allows you to. I'm here on the Malecon in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, on day 7 of my journey away from Estados Unidos, away from the United States, trying to keep myself and my loved ones free and out of harm's way, as obviously we are witnessing something unbelievably unprecedented in the United States at the moment. We see some people tuning in. Make sure to hit that like button if you haven't already, guys. Anyway, we are seeing something very unprecedented happen in the United States and in Canada and most of the world, for that matter, here as well. But it's far less detrimental where I am right now, far less dangerous where I am right now compared to, well, most of the world, really. As most of you guys know, they have been putting the military in many of the streets of the United States, putting people on lockdown, saying 2 months, 4 months, maybe 18 months, perhaps 2 years, you'll be locked in your home. And I basically said, there's no way I'm doing that. And as they are locking down most businesses, they're banning sales of alcohol. They're trying to come for the guns in many places. I think this is the reset, the major power grab that many of us have known to be an issue that was on the horizon in the near future. And here it is. Here we are. And here we are in a situation where I told myself, look, at the last second, I have to get out of here. I came down to Puerto Vallarta because in a case of a panic, people aren't as panicked here. They're much more self-sustainable. There's a stronger family unit. For those that say, let me see, I got one comment from Beverly Thomas, stop the fear-mongering. How far does it have to get, Beverly, before it's no longer fear-mongering? This is reality. This is the biggest communist property grab that we've ever seen in history worldwide. This is the biggest economic collapse in history. They're talking about forcing vaccinations. They're talking about completely centrally planned cashless society. They're trying to take the guns. They're banning alcohol in many places. They're putting tanks in the streets. They're creating a massive global government force. They are trying to bail out the stock market, $1 trillion a day to banks. $1 trillion. That's going to cause hyperinflation. Complete communist central planning. And you're saying that's fear-mongering to point out those facts? Seriously? How far do you have to go before people stop saying that's fear-mongering and go, oh, wow, reality. We better start talking about it instead of cowering under our pillows. Anyway, we got some comments coming in. Make sure to send in those super chats, hit that like button, and help us out any way you can. Check those links below. Join us at iamband.com, where we will be posting a newsletter. You can put your email in through there. Send in your questions, guys. I'm interested in seeing what you guys have to say. Adam says, buy Digibyte. Well, I mean, a lot of people are definitely using that right now here in Puerto Vallarta. They are shutting down a lot of businesses, as you can see behind me. A lot of closures. It's very sad. Lots of people are losing their jobs overall worldwide. Over 100 million people are probably lost their jobs, probably more. Considering China, we're probably saying by the end of this, there'll be 2 or 3 billion jobs gone. Hundreds of millions of businesses worldwide. And at what point is it no longer fear-mongering, guys? This is just fact. This is what we're facing. This is just pointing out reality. It's like the sky is blue, and we need to do something about it. But here, people aren't panicking. There's a lot more self-sustainability. There's a lot more people that are looking for solutions instead of freaking out. When the government tells everyone to go inside, people go, no. Besides, this is the perfect weather for something like coronavirus. I mean, the germs die fast. The heat is perfect for this kind of situation. I'll be okay. Honestly, I feel much safer here than I would in the United States or Canada in this situation. Canadians in droves flooded back to Canada a couple days ago here, about a day and a half ago, because the Canadian government said they were canceling their health insurance that they had already paid for. I mean, think about that for a moment. You pay for the health insurance, and then they tell you that they're going to rescind it and that you have to return home immediately. And so all these people jumped on planes, went back, And I think that's all the more reason for me to stay here, because obviously they are trying to get people, real people in and bring them back to Canada for a reason. And honestly, it looks like a giant slave racket in Canada right now. I'm really concerned about what's going to happen to my family. I really hope the best for everyone there. Tackle House says, what's the long-term plan? Well, I feel like we're coming up on a short-term plan here. The long-term, I actually do believe that we have some hope. Just at the moment, for the next couple of years, this is not going to be good anytime soon. It's that old saying, hard times create weak men create good times create, you know, well, sorry, hard times create weak men, or I totally messed that up. So I've been in the sun all day, so it was good times create weak men create good times or bad times. Oh my God, sorry. Let me just figure this out for a second here. I'm totally brain dead from the heat. You know the old saying out of ancient Rome. Strong men create good times create weak men create bad times create strong men. There we go, that's how it goes. And it goes in a circle for eternity. And I think we right now are coming up on that era of bad times created by weak men. And so we're kind of in that part of the cycle right now, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be bad forever. I think we're going to reach some kind of long-term goal where people have grown stronger through, suffering and having a hard time affording food or even having food, period. That's going to create a stronger generation. But for the time being, the next couple of years, I believe we're facing unprecedented collapse. And I've been warning about it for many years. People call me crazy and stupid for many years for talking about it. Well, here we are. This is a reality. This is what I was talking about. So much for that Chicken Little thing, hey? I mean, we have reached peak central banking. We have reached communist seizures of property. We have reached possible forced vaccinations, cashless society, technocratic super state grids that are being built out, mimic China. And this is where us as individuals have to test our ideologies to the best of our abilities and show and prove our ideas to be strong. Let's see. Spawn E. Rudd says, buying the dip yet? First of all, I don't give any economic advice out. I have to make that completely clear. But I would say that right now, with the amount of printing, Bitcoin is probably a good idea. Generally speaking, cryptocurrencies that are good and sound and fundamentally useful. I mean, think of it this way. For the last month or so, as the stock market crashed, it mimicked the stock market. It fell like a rock. Bitcoin saw a huge drop in its value. And like I said at the time, on top of their already insane QE, which they called not QE, once they start bailing out banks, printing that money, devaluing the currency, then we would see Bitcoin rise in value. And so we've seen an 80% rise from its bottom when it collapsed, and I think we're probably going to see it continue on up as long as they keep printing, as the value goes down. And on top of that, the bail-in regimes, the fact that there's people running on banks all over the world right now, I think that'll all lead to Bitcoin doing well long term. But again, that's not financial advice. But so far I've been right, going back to 2016 on Bitcoin. So I think there's some reason to listen to me a bit, but that's up to you. That's just my opinion. Make sure to hit that like button if you haven't already. Check those links below and send in those super chats. They help a lot and they keep us alive, especially now that I've had to give up my house. I've had to give up my vehicle. I've given up all my property except for my clothes, some of my clothes anyway, which are all at some random laundromat in a back alley here in Mexico right now. I have access to none of my clothes, and my camera and my laptop and my phone. I left everything behind, jumped on a plane within 6 hours, got here. It was the best decision I ever made, honestly. And as people leave, obviously, it's very sad and it hurts a lot of businesses here, but people here are very strong, and I think they'll be able to manage this calamity. They've managed worse things in the past, honestly, whereas most places have not in history, in memorable history anyway, had to deal with anything as crazy as this. Anyway, the Earl Ferry says, hi Josh, hi chatters, much love from California. Well, much love to you as well, and I hope you are well, and I hope everyone's staying safe. Hit that like button, guys, if you haven't already. It helps with the algorithm. Doug209 says, looking for a headline saying conspiracy theorists were right. Yeah, imagine that, hey? I mean, so many of the things I've been talking to a lot of people here in Puerto Vallarta, and it's interesting because of those people that I've been talking to, almost every single one of them says, there's something more to this story than meets the eye. There's something more to this notion that there's just a disease spreading or an illness spreading, and then suddenly they shut down the world. Like every single person I talk to here in Mexico is like a conspiracy theorist on this and asking very interesting, pertinent questions. And many tourists too. And I've met a couple of people that came down here. One person saw a couple of people had seen my video, my last video on the Malecon here in Puerto Vallarta, and recognized me at a restaurant a couple days ago. But also a lot of people are just coming down because they feel they're going to be safer in Mexico, and I agree with them. They are going to be, because I have no idea what kind of prison they're creating there in the United States and Canada right now. They are taking unprecedented communist action, and even freedom-minded people pathetically bow down and say, oh, well, we need to do what we need to do to save humanity, submit to complete Orwellian censorship, control, facial recognition, cashless society, communist control over your property, them seizing your property, paying your rent, killing off all of your jobs, printing trillions of dollars into the economy, inflating the price of living dramatically. That is the sacrifice you have to make because they created a disease and have spread it all over the world. I mean, it's just so easy to get people to bow down and revere their chains if it makes them feel more comfortable. And that's what's most sad to me about this whole situation is people's reaction, the panic, but the wrong sort of panic, the panic over the disease and the begging the government to help them, not being prepared. Like I've always said here at WAM for years, it's better to be over-prepared than under-prepared. I've always said it. Here we are, people have 5-year supplies of toilet paper and no food. They are starting to sell out a lot of stuff. I went to the Walmart here in Puerto Vallarta, and I mean, the flour is mostly sold out and a lot of the rice, but honestly, it was still fine. I mean, there's toilet paper, there's all sorts of stuff. The Mexicans are laughing at Americans and Canadians over the toilet paper issue. I mean, it's ridiculous, but honestly, the reaction of people here, even people that know they're going to be losing their jobs right away, is basically, but we'll find a way, we're strong. We've been through worse. We'll make this happen. I mean, it's sad, but honestly, compare that to the United States. Everyone's screaming, oh my God, government, help me. FEMA, feed me. Like FEMA is capable of feeding everyone. Who's going to produce the food when they shut down all food manufacturers? All the people the entire production line. I mean, the whole supply chain has gone busted. I mean, it's ridiculous. So I don't know. At this point, I think that we're dealing with a global pandemic of statism and dependency like none other that we've ever seen in human history. And it took a long time to pull people into a position where they were so subservient, so desperate, so dependent, so weak. I'm not saying all of you guys, but the fact of the matter is we are dealing with the biggest, I can't say the word on YouTube, I'll be taken down. Starts with a P, ification of humanity, of man. Julian Flavel says, I am embarrassed to be English at the moment. You know, it's not about the collective at the end of the day. I feel you. I try to pretend I'm not Canadian much of the time. I get kind of, but it's not about that. I mean, it's just, what do you do as an individual, as a free human being? How do you represent yourself rather than some collective that we're all supposed to be part of? I don't buy that. People are like, well, you have to prove allegiance to Canada or the US or whatever it might be. Like, why? I am me, and my job, my responsibility, based on the very fundamentals of responsibility itself, is to protect me, protect my freedom, protect my loved ones, not some all-powerful government. The government has only stolen from me, killed millions of people. Why am I representative of that? I'm representative of me and my own actions. And I think hopefully people will start to go by that a bit more. If you haven't hit the like button on this video yet, make sure to hit that like button. Doug209 says, have you heard sorry, your message disappeared. Have you heard the stories about groceries search algos getting fixed recently? I have not. be interested in hearing more about that. I'm being surrounded by pigeons because people keep feeding the pigeons around here. Pigeons all over the place here. But no, I would be interested in looking into that more for sure. Send in those super chats if you want. They help a lot. I know everyone's going through a rough time right now. I'm without money, living in Mexico right now, and abandoned all my property. I could use $1 or $2 for a super chat, that's for sure. Gypsy Tree says, "Damn, I'm jealous. Check out a little surf town, Sayulita. I've heard of that. About an hour north of Puerto Vallarta. Yeah, I can basically see it from where I am right now. I think." Way in the background. But yeah, I've been told by a lot of people, this older couple says, "Oh yeah, I mean, you'd probably be too young for it." I'm like, I like quiet bars and towns. I don't like loud nightclubs. They're like, "Oh, then it's perfect for you." Already, old man. Mr. B says, "Top man, Josh. Sun suits you." I appreciate that. Yeah, well, it suits us all. It's nice to have fresh ocean air and sun. And I mean, it's crazy though how empty this is. This is like around spring break in Puerto Vallarta, one of the the biggest towns in Mexico, in North America, really, for spring break, and it's just empty. But people are gonna manage. They're gonna find a way around it. Metal Gear MK3 says, "No cartels in that area, Josh." Well, I don't know. I haven't come across them, and if they are, they're not bothering me. So I'm not concerned about that. Anyway, the biggest issue I've had in Mexico so far, like anywhere else, has been the government. But the thing about the government here is everyone shrugs it off and goes, "Go away." The government says, "Do this," and you just say, "No." And that's the kind of the conduct that I see from most people here, which is pretty awesome. And another reason why I love it here. I absolutely love it. They say shut down all the restaurants. I'm like, here's equivalent $5 to open your restaurant just for me. Okay. This is one of the reasons I love it here. Everyone else shuts down everywhere else. Anyway, I obviously you have to be careful about spreading things to older people, people that are overweight, people with asthma, people with autoimmune diseases. Overall, though, I mean, myself, the people I'm corresponding with here are around my age, including the business owners, it says a lot about how people try to make the best of their life here. Robert says, "Mexico is a libertarian society to a degree. I mean, they have terrible, horrible laws, but nobody listens to them." Magic Monkey Love says, "Yes, leave USA." Yeah, well, that was kind of the bottom line I came down to when I came out here a week ago now. I'm on day 7. I'm going to be coming out with a full vlog documentary video of the first week soon, and then the second week after that. And I'll be showing you guys that soon. Looking forward to that. I have to edit it all together. It's hours of footage, but it's pretty interesting what I've seen so far here and what I've documented from 7 days ago to today. It's totally different. It's unrecognizable. So stay tuned for that. I'm excited to bring it to you guys. I think it's going to really give you a really good insight into this insanity that we're dealing with, not just everywhere in the world, but mainly here. As everyone says, get out, don't go there. And I go, well, this sounds like the best, safest, most peaceful, least panicked place to possibly be in the whole world right now. Rainy Steps in Canadian, $5.49, and says, "So you don't starve." I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. That'll buy me a fancy Italian dinner here. That's another thing. Like, the peso has fallen so dramatically here that it costs almost nothing for food here. It costs almost nothing for living expenses, groceries. I bought about 2 months worth of stuff today. Of groceries, and it cost me about equivalent $70, so I can eat for a couple months now. Especially when they shut down every last restaurant here, which they'll probably just do in the Jalisco province, just in order to virtue signal a bit. Honestly, I hope I'm not too shadowed and silhouetted here. I can't really see my own screen. LC Non says, "Which part of the world do you see failing first? U.S., Europe, EU is going to explode soon." I would say that it would be a synonymous issue between Europe and the United States, personally. Legend Meadow says, 2 months? Dude, don't kill yourself on Hot Pockets and Funyuns. No, it's all just preservatives or preserves and stuff like that. Uh, no problem there. Let's see. Nice is good. Tara Rees 07 says smoking kills the virus. I somehow doubt that. In fact, it starts in the throat as a sore throat. So gurgling salt water, taking zinc, taking vitamins, even a little bit of alcohol, get it out of the throat, down into the stomach, and then it won't spread to the lungs after about 4 days, which is usually what happens. So if you go by that, I think that's probably the best way to avoid getting all the symptoms anyway. But as a carrier, you'll want to stay inside anyway for that, but not 2 effing years. Let's see, we got Juan Jose Alvarado sent Canadian $10 in the super chat. Says tacos El Pastor and beer on me today. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Mucho gracias. Estoy bien. Is muy bonito aquí. I am very, very excited to be here. I'm really happy to be here. I wish I could. Oh my God, this pigeon is trying to have sex with this other pigeon. Go away. Oh my God, not right next to me. Come on, get out of here. Get out of here. Get out. Sorry about that. Anyway, yeah, I mean, it's been really great being here. The weather's beautiful. It's so incredibly cheap, and I feel like I'm so free being out here. I've escaped a really concerning, scary global crisis in a lot of ways. Like, I'm not completely escaping it. I'm still seeing it here, but I believe that I'm doing much better here than I would be over there. And I was starting to get really mentally unwell just by seeing what was happening in the US and how everyone was just walking right into it like it's normal. This isn't normal at all, guys. This is the most insane moment in human history, and really a make it or break it moment for us to decide whether we enforce our own belief systems onto ourselves and live by them, and live by example. As free people. These pigeons won't go away. Go away. Or we lay down and humanity suffers forever because of it. Like I was saying earlier, weak men create hard times. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men, over and over again. And this is the direction we're going in right now. And I hope everyone doesn't submit. It's not black and white. It's not, well, either, people are saying, well, the virus is a hoax. It's not a hoax. You don't have to benefit some viewpoint that it needs to be a hoax in order for you to justify not submitting to the state. It's not as black and white as that. One thing is it's engineered for sure, but it does really hurt people, and it is much worse than the average flu based on just general statistics, not numbers, percentages. But with that said, it doesn't mean that that doesn't give you reason to justify rebelling against the establishment, enforcing crazy curfew laws and putting you into your home and taking communist control over your home. It's not one or the other. Just don't submit to this massive establishment power grab. But also don't say that it's not in any way dangerous. Of course it is. They created it to be as dangerous as it possibly could and spread as easily as possible. It doesn't have to be one or the other. Just because it's a bad thing doesn't mean we need the government, the biggest murder and virus of all history, to take care of us. Anyway, we got a super chat from my dad. We're back, I think. So yeah, the internet's not great here, so bear with me on that. My dad sent a super chat of $13.99 Canadian. Says, take care, son, stay safe. I appreciate that, thank you. Yeah, and again, like, those super chats go a long way. Oh my God, look at these pigeons. What do they want from me? This is like the movie Birds or something. Get out of here. I'm not giving any of them bread, so I don't know why they're all gathering around me. I guess people sit here and feed them. I'm certainly not, though. They're all like tweaking out over here. Oh my God. What does this guy want? I have no idea what's going on right now. They're all over the place. They're surrounding me. Oh my God. Anyway, sorry about that. So let me get back to the comments here. Craig Batchelor says, hello from the UK. Keep up with the amazing work. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I've met so many awesome people here. I've met some people who recognize me. Look at this guy. His eyeball is popping out. This is horrifying. Oh, my God. Ugh. Sorry. I'm a little distracted. Yeah, oh, my God. That thing looks horrible. Ugh. Anyway, Kathy Bobathy says you can get plague from wild birds. I heard you can't get the coronavirus from animals though, which I've recently learned after, months of Chinese people throwing cats from their balconies is horrible. This whole thing has been tragic on every side, from the pandemic to the economic crash to the jobs lost to the communist control and technocratic control over people. It's just so insane. Hit that like button if you haven't already on this video. Let's get over 100 likes on this video. I think we're at 78 so far. Oh my God. Jeez. Look, the cop scared them off. Some police walk by and they all freak out. Imagine that. The state, it scares everybody. But the state should always be in fear of us good people. Always remember that. The state should be in fear of us. Kathy Bobathy says, this is not a pandemic everywhere. Well, it's more about a pandemic of government, but there certainly is a illness that's spreading everywhere, but I think by design and on purpose. And the whole idea is to create that kind of pandemic that gets people in fear, makes them feel helpless, and get them desperate and completely dependent, and beg the state to help them. Jody says, how you doing, pal? Good, good, good. I'm alive and well, feeling a lot more free down here than I would in Estados Unidos or Canada. Everything's extremely cheap. I left my property behind, but everything's extremely cheap down here. People aren't panicking. There's a lot of problems. Obviously, businesses are closing up like crazy, and we can see that basically everywhere here. But with that said, people are already looking for new ways. Like, for example, when they said you cannot have a business that sells alcohol, but you can have a business that sells food and you can serve alcohol on the side. So they just start giving everyone apple slices as gifts at the door, and then serves you an alcoholic drink. I mean, they know their ways around this. In the US, they'd all just hide under their bed and get scared. Here, they're like, how do we get around the law? And that's the first thing on our minds all the time. And that's one of the things I love about Mexico. Emily's Freedom says you can get alcohol in Canada. Yeah, you can still. Much of the US, they're cutting that out already, though, which is totally crazy. Imagine the DTs among so many alcoholics in their homes and everything. And you might say that sounds like a good thing for them long term. It really isn't a good way to stop alcoholism by enforcing at the hand of government. That's how you get people to go completely crazy. Big Bear 54 says, good to see you are doing fine. Thank you. I hope you are as well. And then Annalise Freedom says, that's insane. I know, it's totally insane. John H23Z says, weed stores are open. Yeah, well, that's good for now. Anybody? Can you hear me? I can see nothing here. Is anyone still able to hear me? Am I back on yet? Oh my goodness, I can't even tell. Looks like it. So who's still watching? Got nothing coming up. Seeing no comments. Seeing no comments, seeing nothing. Is anybody watching? Let me check on my computer so I can actually see comments coming in, because YouTube just glitched and won't let me see any comments from anybody, any messages, nothing. So I'm gonna have to sign into my YouTube on my computer to see the damn comments. Good times. I had to walk home in order to go live again, because even though I pay for data, they decided just this video alone was enough data to cancel me for data for the rest of the day. So I won't have internet for the rest of the day. Ah, man. I know some people can hear me. I just can't see your comments yet. I look really red right now. Let me get this up on my laptop here. I will be with all of you in one moment. Technical difficulties. We are live. This is also Mexican internet, so you only get so much out of it. Let's see. And so much out of it. Okay. I see my comments now. I see people commenting. Okay, great. So now I can actually see what you're saying, guys. All right. Anyway. That was exhausting. It is crazy hot out here. For the most of the video, I was sitting in the shade, and then I had to walk into the sun, direct sunlight. So that was an issue. Let me go up to this super chat that people are telling me to look at. I don't see any of these super chats. Why can't I see them? Let me try in my live stream window. Oh my God, technology. It still says the wrong amount of people watching and all sorts of stuff here. So let me get to this, one sec. Oh, I'm dying. It is showing me no super chats at all. It literally no super chats. What on earth is going on? I hate YouTube so much. They're just making things as difficult as humanly possible for me. Analytics. Can someone tell me where the super chat is and let me know what I'm supposed to look for here? Because I'm getting nothing. YouTube's showing me nothing. I don't know what on earth is wrong with the chat, but it's literally showing me blank here. It's showing me nothing on the computer. I've lost the vast majority of the audience, and it isn't showing me any super chats on here. This is so frustrating. What on earth is going on? I don't see anything. Okay, well, I'm just going to keep going into questions while I'm looking, because I'm not helping anything here. Okay, Terry Rise 07 says they copied and pasted, and it was from Bonifacius Vaisgantas, sent SEK 50. Greetings from Lithuania. Well, greetings to you as well. I really appreciate the currency helps a lot, and all of you guys are hugely helpful to keeping independent media alive in this time of real. It's a crisis. What is the best, most positive thing I can call it. I mean, at this moment, this again is unprecedented, and having people support independent media that's calling out the false narratives that we're being fed is crucial at this moment. If not me, someone else in independent media. The point is, we are facing a brick wall of censorship, a brick wall of propaganda. What we do next is what's going to make it possible for us to be free human beings in the future and be able to bring these messages to new people, new generations, children, etc., so that we can live free, live by example, and cut out this insanity of central planning, communism, technocracy. Get us on our knees begging for help, as they call this a pandemic. It is a pandemic, but it's a created pandemic. Please, government, do these things for me. Make me feel better. It's the most absurd thing I've ever heard in my life, but people are falling for it. A lot of people are falling for it. And yeah, I don't doubt that at all. I'm in Mexico. I can only get such good internet. I have to literally stay still. My data was better than the actual Wi-Fi at this place. Oh, man. Well, I'm going to have to get going because obviously this isn't working much. I really appreciate the super chats. Make sure to check the links below. GoFundMe, Patreon, Subscribestar. It's not hotel Wi-Fi, it's Airbnb. Airbnb Wi-Fi. But it's what will make it possible for me to keep calling out the establishment, bringing the information to people. My exodus from the United States into Mexico. The pros, cons, what I've seen, the changes as things shut down from the first day I got here to the 7th, and then I'll be doing another one, 7th day to 14th day. Gary K says, guys, smash that like button, sub, share. I appreciate that. Yes, hitting that like button makes a huge difference as well as far as the algorithm goes. So hit that like button. Matt Ward says, you're stuck in Mexico like I'm stuck in Poland. I'm not stuck in Mexico. I'm in Mexico because I want to be in Mexico because it's free. Far more free anyway. I mean, the government's terrible, but no one listens to the government. It's far more free than Estados Unidos, far more free than Canada or the UK or Australia. Anyway, because I can't see any new super chats and all that kind of stuff because YouTube's incredibly terrible. He ran from Canada and the US. I didn't run. As a human being, this is a basis of freedom itself, responsibility. You don't have allegiance to a country, to a landmass, to a state that kills millions, to a state that enslaves the populace. You don't have allegiance to that. You have allegiance to yourself and the people around you, the people that you wish to protect, the people you wish to hold dear. It's important that you as an individual, the basis of freedom itself being a responsibility, be responsible for your freedoms. And if you aren't going to get anywhere as far as freedom goes in Canada, I went to the US because it's better than Canada and cheaper, and I can't live on what YouTube's been cutting me down to. Then they cut me down much more, and also they're creating a massive military police state where they're forcing people into homes, printing trillions of dollars, taking over people's properties, doing UBI, doing crazy, insane stuff that might lead to forced vaccinations, to facial recognition, technocratic money, centrally planned cashless systems. It's my responsibility to take care of my freedom, and my freedom is to go to Mexico now to be more free than I was in the US. People can say that they can make anything of that if they want. I don't care. It's about how I protect my freedoms, live by example. It's something I've always said, and just like I've always said, be prepared. It's better to be overly prepared than underprepared, and defend yourself. Defend yourself. And I'm defending myself right now, defending my freedoms. And it's never been more important in human history, I believe. So I don't know how far it needs to get before people start going, oh, wow, yeah, this is crazy. Like, how far does it need to go? People are being, in the entire world, being shut in. I mean, hundreds of millions of jobs gone, billions by the end of this, hundreds of millions of businesses by the end of this worldwide. Complete control over all business, all enterprise. That's communism. And they're creating a fascio-communist technocratic police state right now. Medical martial law. At what point do we go, yeah, that's effed up? It's no longer fear mongering, it's happening, and everything I predicted has come true. And I hate to be that guy, but I don't want this vindication. But my God, when are people going to start listening? Anyway, Matt Ward says, how long can you stay there non-resident? Um, well, technically 180 days. But honestly, in this time, I'm not sure. If I have to, I'll cross into Belize and then come back. They don't have anything against me being here. And I'll talk to the right people. All will be well. Don't worry about that. Enley's Freedom says he's right. Cullen Nicholas says, I'm very, very worried about our freedom lockdown. Yeah, everyone should be. This is unprecedented. And if people don't act now, when will they? When is the best time to act then? Never? I guess so. Slaves to the end, so many. And it's so sad. People say, well, what am I supposed to do? I have a family, all that kind of stuff. Exactly. Exactly. You have a family. What are you going to do? Anyway, I appreciate everyone tuning in. Hit that like button if you have not already. I really appreciate everyone joining me. Check those links below. GoFundMe, Patreon, Subscribe Star. Join me on float.app. That's flote.app, where I'm not shadow banned, obviously. And find me on my newsletter, iambanned.com, www.iambanned.com. You can find it in the description. YouTube messed up the description really weird underneath the video. I don't know why they did that. But nonetheless, I'm at www.iambanned.com. You can sign up for the newsletter with your email. Helps out a lot. And obviously, again, we cannot do it without you. Those donations are literally what's keeping me alive right now. Those super chats are what's keeping me alive right now. So thank you all so much for sending super chats, for the likes on the video, for all of that, for sharing on social media. It makes a great difference. And honestly, the last video I did like this, I got recognized because of it here on the strip of Puerto Vallarta by two women from Los Angeles who fled the U.S. too. I'm not the only one. Thank God for some people taking action and getting out when they still could. I know not everyone could. I know a lot of people are stuck. And I really wish you all well. And I hope you stay safe. Nowhere is really safe right now, but there are some places that are better than others. Now I need to take a shower from walking in the sun for that 2 minutes that I just walked in the sun. So I hope to talk with all you guys soon. I'm going to do another live stream as soon as I possibly can. I enjoy doing these because it gives me some communication with all of you when I'm stuck in a situation where I don't really have much communication anymore. But I'm going to be doing lots of video reports too, interviews on top of that. I'm going to be doing more shows with Tim BitChute and John Snyson soon. And again, the documentary on everything I've been witnessing since I got here. So stay tuned for that. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Again, hit that like button. See you next time. Until next time, hopefully no more technical difficulties next time. Until next time, this is Josh Sigurdson signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change.